Jake Paul fight. What is your reaction when you see that?
I don't really know where to go with this subject because if I say something, I'm going to get backlash.
Gervonta Davis just posted that he would beat the brakes off of you if you guys fight.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be down. Let's run it. Like, I'd be super, super down.
Is Jake Paul someone you'd want to take on at one point?
Yeah. Tell him, this is my call out. Jake Paul, what up?
Floyd Mayweather has finally broken his silence on the much-hyped potential showdown between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis, and as expected, he didn't hold back in classic Mayweather fashion. The undefeated boxing legend delivered a sharp, calculated response that both dismissed the spectacle element Jake Paul brings and reaffirmed Tank Davis as one of the most dangerous fighters in the sport.
Chapter 1's done tonight. Now we're moving into Chapter 2, and I'm just getting warmed up in the sport. But people hold the Tommy Fury thing against me, but what now? I just beat a former world champion, and I'm coming to avenge that loss as well with Tommy.
Live, only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
With his trademark swagger, Floyd made it clear that while Jake Paul has done well turning social media into dollar signs, stepping into the ring with a killer like Gervonta is a different beast entirely.
Something I'm going to get backlash because,
Okay.
you know, no matter what I say, it's not.
Okay. So you can't
It's
say
not right. But well, basically, when you're watching boxing for free, you can have millions and millions and millions, hundreds of millions of views.
Yeah.
But when you're watching Floyd Mayweather, you have to pay.
It's real.
So, I mean, I did pay-per-view numbers.
Floyd Mayweather has consistently criticized Jake Paul's boxing career, expressing doubts about his ability to compete against seasoned professional fighters. In various interviews, Mayweather has stated that Paul cannot face a real fighter, and that once he does, the outcome will not be favorable for Paul. He emphasized that while Paul has been successful against opponents from other combat sports, stepping into the ring with a professional boxer would present a significant challenge.
He told me before his goal is to fight Canelo. So that's, where his mindset's at.
It get fucked up by Canelo. Oh, I'm sorry. It's TMZ.
You can curse. You can curse.
I apologize, but
no apologize about
it. There's no way he'd get demolished.
Boxing pros weigh in the moment Jake Paul's name surfaced alongside Gervonta Davis. The sports insiders reacted to what it all means for boxing's integrity, future, and business. From top contenders to pundits, the reception ranged from dismissive disdain and ethical concern to pragmatic acceptance of the money and attention a crossover fight brings.
If you do fight, what weight would it be at?
195. It would be an exhibition.
Okay, so it was going to be an exhibition, not sanctioned, but no restrictions. You can knock each other out and shit like that. It was going to be at a catch weight of 195 pounds, 10 rounds, 3 minutes. I've been trying to figure this out. Why was I a Tank hater for wanting to see Tank go up 5 pounds to get some smoke with like Teofimo Lopez or something? I just wanted to see him go up 5 pounds and fight Teofimo Lopez. And all of you are saying, you want Tank hurt, Showbiz. You a hater. You want him hurt. Then I'm convinced, okay, he's too small, but he can fight Jake at 195?
Some critics have blasted the notion of Davis stepping into the ring with Paul as ridiculous and a potential stain on his legacy. One fan on Essentially Sports said, Tank Davis moving from 135-195 is just pure insanity, calling the idea a clown move and accusing Paul of begging for a payday from the face of boxing. Veteran analyst Paulie Malignaggi questioned Tank's resume, arguing he's avoided the top lightweight contenders and labeling his recent opponents as cherry-picked. Meanwhile, lightweight champion Shakur Stevenson went further, calling it disrespectful to the sport if Davis prioritizes a crossover spectacle over a meaningful unification bout. Together, these voices suggest fans and insiders see little merit and plenty of risk in Tank risking credibility for cash.
Something else that's unfortunate is the idea that Jake Paul might actually fight Gervonta Tank Davis. This can't be real. When it came up a couple of months ago, I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to cover this because there's no way it's real. There's no way they're really going to do that because it makes no sense. Why would you do that for him? outside of it, like, okay, you can look at it like an exhibition, which it will be, and we'll take a look at some of the rule set for it. But Gervonta Davis is one of, if not the best, biggest names at 135 pounds, and is an active, in his prime fighter. I don't want to hear the similar to Floyd and Logan thing, because at that point, Floyd was retired. Floyd had done all he needed to do in the sport. Tank is still in his prime, still has multiple high-level opponents that he needs to fight. And you can say, oh, you know, the Jake would be a one-off. Side quest. That's fine, but that just tells me that Tank doesn't care about being a high-level champion in the sport anymore.
Shakur Stevenson has publicly criticized the notion of Gervonta Tank Davis stepping into the ring with Paul before facing him first. He argues such a move would be unfair to his own position in the lightweight hierarchy and to the sport's integrity. Man, Tank is disrespectful to the sport if he chose fighting Jake Paul over fighting with me. Stevenson stated during a Fight Hub TV interview Shakur is frustrated that Davis might bypass a legitimate unification bout, a true championship clash, and instead opt for a crossover exhibition against a YouTuber. He's emphasized that Tank calling cap on his claim to be the best is not enough. The only way to prove it is by fighting him, not someone outside the sports sphere.
Didn't say you got your eye on Tank. What do you think about the rumors of Tank and Jake fight?
Man, Tank disrespectful to the sport if he choose that over fighting with me. I'm the best fighter in the sport. I've been telling him that. And he called cap on it. So if you gonna call cap and say I'm not who I say I am, come prove it.
Gervonta Davis's view of Jake Paul has clearly shifted over time. Initially, he dismissed Paul as nothing more than a loud attention-seeking spectacle, with Tank publicly scoffing at the idea of Paul in the boxing world. That skepticism persisted even as Paul began to train seriously. But over time, Davis acknowledged that Paul's commitment in the gym marked him as more than a mere internet clown. By late 2023, Davis had come to see Paul as decent, crediting his physical and mental toughness while still stopping short of calling him a top-tier boxer. More recently, after Davis's controversial draw with Lamont Roach, he hinted privately that he could call out Paul for a fight, demonstrating a newfound openness rooted in respect for Paul's work ethic and drawing power, even as he remains aware of the significant weight and skill differences between them.
How about Jake? What do you think of Jake?
Clown. He's a clown. I know that Jake can't fight. He can't fight. So
would you look at it as a joke if someone, if your team was like, yo, we want you to fight Jake Paul, would you be like, come on, man?
I laugh at him. You want me to fight him? At first, I didn't like how Jake Paul was coming because of how he was making it look. But now that I see that, I feel as though he's still a clown because that's his personality. I'm starting to respect it because he's not doing it like for the hype. He was really like trying to be a boxer. I think that he's decent.
Yeah.
Like he's good. I mean, he's not good, but he's going that way.
Is he better than you thought he'd be?
Yeah. Gotta be mentally tough to be able to box. So that's why I don't take that away from some fighters or some people that want to jump into the sport. So just show how tough you are. That's how it should be.
Especially after Jake Paul's convincing win over Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., respect for him within the boxing community has grown substantially. The Anaheim event shattered the venue's gate revenue record, overtaking shows headlined by elite fighters like Canelo Alvarez and Ryan Garcia, signaling massive commercial traction. Esteemed figures such as Oscar de la Hoya now see Paul as serious about boxing, suggesting he could genuinely contend for world titles. Even Manny Pacquiao acknowledged that. Regardless of lingering doubts, Paul's dedication cannot be ignored. The fight also elevated his technical credibility, with analysts noting his ability to control the ring and maintain composure in a hostile environment.
Canelo Alvarez fought Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. We promoted that fight many years ago. Didn't knock him out, couldn't hurt him. So imagine if Jake Paul can hurt or even wobble Chavez Jr. It's something that Canelo didn't do or couldn't do. So Jake Paul, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., it's a real fight. Look, people keep talking about Jake Paul, well, he's not a real fighter, this and that. Well, he's fighting a real fighter now in Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. It's going to be a good test for both guys. Obviously, Jake Paul, he's a masterclass promoter in what he does. He's been doing some great things. I mean, Mike Tyson, 60 million people. Fighting Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., who, when he trains, when he gets in shape, when he's focused, he will be dangerous for anybody. Look, Canelo Alvarez fought Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. We promoted that fight many years ago. Didn't knock him out, couldn't hurt him. So imagine if Jake Paul can hurt
or even wobble Chavez Jr., it's something that Canelo didn't do or couldn't do. So there's a lot of stories to come out from this, a lot of great stories for Jake Paul. So I just feel honored and proud that we can team up with MVP Promotions, with Jake Paul, and we can make Zurdo Ramirez with Torticos the mandatory. That's going to be a bloodbath in itself. So we're excited.